Welcome back to Veterans Claims Ambush, video 1616. This is a college level course. If you haven't seen the earlier parts, go back and take a look. I want you to recommend this to people who are thinking about joining the military. If you have friends in the service who are thinking of getting out and have been injured, or may have been injured, you don't necessarily know the long-term consequence. And of course, it's for veterans long out of service to find out what they're facing if they go back because an old injury has become worse over time. I went through a bunch of IG reports recently, and then I went through some of the CFR about the grand statements coming out from Congress through the CFR, through the VA, about how things are supposed to work. And I showed you that basically you have a bunch of incompetent people at the regional offices taking serious medical decisions. I say incompetent because they are not competent to render these decisions by virtue of their education in chemistry, physics, biology, and statistical modeling. They may have no college education. They may have college education and been a major in business or in French or in political science or sociology or land management, who knows what, but not necessarily graduates who are not medical doctors, who are going to be taking medical decisions against you in the ambush, and they may have no training in order to make those decisions. In other words, if they came into court and said, I can testify as to how a TBI works, well, why is that? I work for the VA, and I did numerous TBI claims. Oh, well, that's very good. So give us your educational background. I went to college and I majored in business. I'm a very good accountant. Silence in the courtroom. No, your medical background. Oh, I didn't. What do you mean? Are you a medical doctor? No. Do you have a master's in biology? No. Biochemistry? No. Well, you can't testify in a court as an expert on anything about biology, chemistry, physics, or mathematical modeling. Well, sure I can. I work for the VA. I was a rating officer. I did this all the time. You're not an expert. Get out of here. See? That's what incompetent means. You're not competent to testify about it. You're not an expert. What on earth is this? We're going back to 2016. The IG is at work. Doing what? Well, this is their job. I've told you the IG is not an auditor. Real auditors are outside independent firms, CPA firms that come in. You get the management out of the way and they lay out the facts as they are, but they are independent firms. The IG are VA employees. And they publish this. Conduct prejudicial to the government and misuse of position. Who cares? Okay. This is about a guy who works in the Office of General Counsel, a charity. You can read this thing on your own. I wanted to show you, though, in the breadth of this particular IG report, it's about somebody in the Office of General Counsel, okay? In 2001, received his initial appointment to serve as an attorney advisor within the VA's OGC. Okay? Then he goes on to Deputy Director of OGC's Homeland Security and all this kind of stuff. Okay? Do you understand something now? Within the government, people shift around. Okay? This is what they published. I don't know anything about this guy, but I'm showing you this to show you that people shift around in the upper management of not only VA, but other federal agencies. goes on and on and on. And on. They investigated every breath this man took. See how this went on? Why on earth did they publish this thing? Did this man do anything wrong? Here's the point. One man, an investigation takes place. They went through everything with this poor man. They went through his phone records, they went through all his emails, they did all this kind of stuff. He went off to work for Homeland Security. They would have vetted him. In the prior IG reports I've shown you, they found individual ROs and a system-wide failure that affected hundreds and thousands of veterans, directly affected them. There was no investigation like this of those people who failed, who directly affected veterans, who harmed veterans. Do you get the picture of this? They went after this man and they published this thing and they left no stone unturned. And he went on to another very serious federal agency, Homeland, which is doing some serious work. When it came time to investigate people who had harmed veterans repeatedly in the many thousands, what did the IG do about those employees? Did they investigate them? Did they try to find out everything they could about those people? Did they publish their names? All right, let's move up from the staff level at the ROs. Let's take the managers who get bonuses based on productivity, quantity, how many things pass through their office. How many of those managers were named, their emails gone through, their phone records gone through? None. You see what happens? VBA has a blank check. You're not allowed to know who they are, what they do, what their competence is to decide your case, to even understand the medical aspects of your case. You're not allowed to know. I show you this report about this man. He's probably completely innocent of any wrongdoing, and they publish this thing. They refuse to do that when veterans are directly harmed. And if you say, okay, let the groundlings, let those people who have the cheap seats in the theater or who have to stand through the whole performance, let those guys go, because we know they don't know what they're doing. They aren't trained. They don't have any medical background. Let them go. What about the managers? Who makes this system possible to ambush you? How many managers? I told you there were 45,000 signatures on 15,000 100% grants that VA was very upset about. How many of those managers got the spotlight this gentleman did? None. Why not? Now, I want to tell you something about management. Management has a capacity to perpetuate a culture. Oh, you can change rules. You can do whatever you want in terms of new training manuals and videos about training. Management will set the tone, and if management doesn't change that tone, nothing changes. When mostly women were having their claims denied based on sexual trauma and PTSD resulting, how many managers were run through the mill like this gentleman, who may have done nothing wrong? That is how you perpetuate a culture, when management is let slide. Because I don't care about the rules. You can change the law, you can change the CFR. If management has the same position and they haven't changed, then nothing changes. That's it for this one.